if you'd like to see Liyue's tourist.
Hello and welcome back to the next part of the main story for Genshin Impact. We are preparing for a festival for the seemingly Lesser Lord. If she is actually a Lesser Lord, who knows? I also have to say, as of right now, I really like all the NPCs that were introduced so far. I kind of wonder if she, the lady in purple, is actually having the same sickness as, what was her name, Gina, Sailor, something like that. And might also just, die somewhere around, who knows. I also really like how fleshed out are even side characters that are not part of the main story, like the Aranyaga quest chain. I really like that one too. Very recommendable, but it's really long. Just as you saw, I'm on part 2. Part 1 already took over an hour for me. So it's a pretty long quest chain, but I think it's very worthwhile. It's very well done. All right, let's continue.
Dancing at the Sub-Zero's festival. You know, I also danced when I was younger. As a child, I even asked my grandmother why we performed the dance for the Lesser Lord when it was originally done to honor the Greater Lord. My grandmother said that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata is a beloved deity and honored by all. And Lesser Lord Kusanali is too. If the goddess of flowers ever knew Lesser Lord Kusanali, then she would certainly have wished to be her friend and hold celebrations for her too. The Sub-Zero's festival has been losing its appeal over the years. That is, until a wealthy benefactor stepped in this year and brought the festival back to life. I heard she forked out a lot of mora to make it all happen.
Things are really shaping up, and there's a buzz around the festival this year. We're expecting people from all over to come by this year and buy things during the festivities. Don't be fooled into thinking that Sumeru City has the best of everything. Some festival snacks are only offered here in the Grand Bazaar. And when it comes to musicians, dancers, or singers, the Grand Bazaar's got the best of the best. Sure, those folks at the Academia might not like it, but what's a festival without song and dance?
Revamping the stage for the festival couldn't have been easy, that's for sure. I bet this year's festival will be one to remember. I don't know much about the Grand Bazaar, but I do know that the residents here have a penchant for song and dance. 2 things that the Academia doesn't particularly approve of. Oh, and the perfume sold around here is a lot better than what you'll find elsewhere. The fragrances are longer lasting and they're gentler on your skin and... I mean, that's what I've heard at least.
Whoa! What's with your yellow hair? And why do your clothes look so funny? Are you an Outlander? Did you know that the Sub-Zero's festival is about to happen? There'll be loads of fun things to do at the festival. But the best part is when Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, passes out candy to everyone.
Nilu, your outfit looks amazing. There's also something different about you from when we first met up.
I thought I'd add a little extra pizzazz to my dress for the festival. See?
Wow, did you sew all that yourself?
Uh-huh.
Sewing is a fundamental skill for everyone in the theater company because we make all our own costumes. Did you know that Mr. Zubair not only can make costumes, but props too? I've noticed that you can't keep your eyes off that crown over there. Would you like to try it on?
May I?
Of course! The legends say that the goddess of flowers had beautiful horns on her head, so this crown was made to reflect that. Dunyarzad, you look absolutely stunning with it on. It's like I'm looking at the goddess of flowers herself.
Hey! Is that who Paimon thinks it is? It looks like Catherine. Huh. Come to think of it, Paimon's only ever seen her behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild. This is the first time we've ever seen her taking a break. Hey, Catherine!
Oh, hey! It's the Traveler and Paimon! What's shaken?
Whoa. Break time Catherine sure sounds a lot less formal than usual. Paimon was still waiting for her to say Ad Astra Abyssosque.
Sure. Standing behind the counter at the Adventurers Guild doesn't require any complicated functions. But saying and doing the same old things over and over again can get pretty monotonous. Like watching the same Fontaine movie day after day. But take you two, for example. You travel across Teyvat to enrich your lives and gain new experiences.
Well, we enjoy traveling across Teyvat and all that, but we're mainly looking for clues about his sister.
Yes, you should keep searching. Sometimes the answers we're looking for aren't necessarily at our intended destination. Instead, they're found along the way.
Huh. Haven't we heard someone say something pretty similar recently? Anyways, what brings you out here, Catherine?
No, not particularly. I guess you could say that I'm loving the recent atmosphere here. If festivals bring happiness to everyone, then that's where their true value lies. Oh, it looks like it's about time for me to be heading back now.
Alright, we'll see you next time at the Adventurers Guild. Oh, by the way, thanks for connecting us with the Eremites. We've already made some great friends in Sumeru City thanks to you.
I'm sure you two will get along well with the people here. You've already been blessed by the element of Dendro, after all. See you around.
There's something really different about Catherine today.
Hey, Traveler. Paimon.
Oh, hey, Dia. What's going on?
I've got something to tell ya. My lady knows you're looking for ways to meet Lesser Lord Kusanali, and she's been trying to come up with a way to help you. Well, I have an idea that might help.
Are you serious? We'd love that.
It might not necessarily pan out, so don't get your hopes up too much. I'll need to take you two somewhere and ask someone some questions. My lady is feeling a little worn out at the moment. Nilu's found a place for her to rest. After I take my lady home, let's meet in front of the Citadel of Regzar.
Sounds like a plan. Let's head over to the Citadel of Regzar and wait for Dia.
Sorry, I'm late. It took some convincing for the Master and Mistress to believe that Miss Dunyarzad was only sitting in the port for a while because she was in a bad mood. Anyway, I guess I should be thanking you. I haven't seen Miss Dunyarzad that happy in a long time. If it wasn't for you two, she probably would have been caught and dragged back much earlier.
You sure sound around a whole lot nicer than when we first met, Dia. Who would have thought you had such a soft spot for Dunyarzad?
It's called being a professional. I'm a bodyguard, and I work for whoever's paying.
Look, Dia's blushing.
Listen, you two. I don't expect to be working for Miss Dunyarzad very long, but I hope to finish things on a positive note if possible. Let's cut the chit-chat and head into the Citadel. We'll see if the person I know has a way for you two to meet with the Lesser Lord. Oh, hey, Chief.
Ha, Dia! What are you doing here? And well, didn't expect to see you three together.
I take it you all know each other already?
Mm-hmm. We met this morning after the Adventurers Guild pointed us to Osfon for more info.
No kidding. So, where's Ruksha? I thought I'd help these two out by asking about the theft. Anything you can tell him?
Rookshaw's gone over to the Academia. The Grand Sage recently ordered Sumeru City to begin bolstering its defenses, so people from all over have been called back to the city. Since you've already mentioned the theft, I suppose I might as well tell him what we know.
Appreciate it, Chief.
Theft? Sorry, what the heck are you guys talking about?
Just recently, the Academia lost something, and there's a chance the item is connected with the Dendro Archon. This case might just somehow help you in meeting her.
I suppose that's one way to look at it. But if you ask me, the case is more about the Academia than anything else. Let me fill you in. The Academia recently sent a convoy to pick up an important package from Aru village. Word got out, and the convoy was robbed on its way back. The Grand Sage took the whole matter very seriously. Not only did he dispatch the Matra, but also enlisted our help in the search for leads. All we know so far is that whatever was stolen is currently in Port Ormos.
You two have heard of Port Ormos, haven't you? It's the largest commercial port in all of Sumeru. You can travel there by leaving Sumeru City and heading south along the river. The Academia's grip isn't long enough to reach all the way to Port Ormos, so the city's a little more laid back, meaning the population's also a mixed bag. You never know who you'll meet there.
Apparently what was lost has a great deal to do with the Akasha, knowledge, and even the gods. I'm afraid I don't have any other details for you, though. If you're interested, maybe you could head to Port Ormos and ask around yourselves. If you want my advice, try introducing yourselves as students of the Academia once you're there.
Are you serious, Chief? All the Academia students are in Sumeru City, you know. Why should they pretend to be students in Port Ormos?
If you're also interested, just go there and see what happens.
Count me out. I've got plenty of work to do here for the Homayani family. And take it from me, if you two really do decide to visit Port Ormos, you'd best watch your backs. Let's just say that the Eremites there aren't nearly as friendly as those here in Sumeru City. There are even some extremists who go around shouting slogans like, "Retake Sumeru for the Scarlet King." Word is that more and more are joining their movement. They're becoming a real headache for Chief and the others.
You bet they are. The Scarlet King's been dead for thousands of years. Now they start spreading rumors of his return. Ridiculous.
Not everyone's like you, Chief. Even the desert natives who abandoned their homes in the wilderness still wish to have a god of their own. Well, Traveler, that's about all the information we have for you.
Thanks, Dia! And you too, Osfond! Since we've gathered all we could for the moment in Sumeru City, let's head to Port Ormos and see what we can find next.
Miss Dunyarzad is looking forward to seeing you both at the Sub-Zeru's festival, so be sure to get yourselves back here in time for that. Good. Then we'll see you both at the Sub-Zeru's festival.
Come and have a good look yourself. Traditional spices of the highest quality, made with pride and experience.
You've got a deal. I can't thank you enough for always looking after my business.
Believe me, I'm not making this up. Several Eremite mercenary groups are nearly in open conflict, but does the core of 30 care? And that's not all. Did you know that...
Wow! Talk about hurly-burly! This place is busy! Guess that's only to be expected for the largest port in Sumeru. Maybe it's because of what Dia told us earlier, but Paimon can't seem to shake the feeling that there's also danger lurking in these crowds. Ooh. Let's get our bearings so we can start looking for leads. We know that whatever the Academia lost is related to the gods. But other than that, we don't have much else to go on. Osfun told us to try posing as Academia students while asking around. Paimon checked the Akasha on the way here, and the Academia doesn't seem to have any research facilities in Port Ormos. Paimon doesn't get it. Won't we look even more suspicious going around saying we're Academia students and asking about the stolen item? Well, given all the people that come through here every day, if there's any information to be found, Paimon bets we could find it in the market. Let's ask around and see what we come up with.
Welcome. Welcome. How can I help you too?
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the Academia ever come to Port Ormos?
Of course. Especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the Academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the Academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the Academia. Ah, you see over there? Those are students from the Academia. They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ein El Ahmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the Academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ein El Hakmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 Mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon. Is knowledge something people just buy and sell like that? So, what's your plan? Wait, didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 mora! Have you lost your mind? Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Out of all my commissions, I enjoy making jewelry for newlyweds the most. Just ask the cats how fresh my fish is.
Port Ormos is pretty great. There's so many new and interesting things, not to mention all the tasty food. Sumeru's largest commercial port sure lives up to its name. Look at all the merchants, and everyone seems excited just to be here.
How did things end up like this?
All thanks to your artistic license. That's how. I should have made you wait until we got an update from Tanja.
But when I finished the prototype Aranara yesterday, you agreed that the kids would like it. That's why we tried bringing it out for a test run today.
Well, I never thought they'd dislike it so much.
Oh, what should we do?
Whoa. Yeah. Compared to everyone else, they seem really down in the dumps. Let's go find out what's going on. Oh, hey there. Paimon's name is Paimon, and he's a traveler who is just passing by. Is there something bothering you?
Oh, I noticed you two a moment ago. Welcome to Akara Crafts, the best toy store in Port Ormos. At least for now. What's bothering us is this prototype Aranara. To start with, could I get your opinion on it?
Prototype Aranara? You mean this wood carving here? It looks like a mushroom monster to Paimon.
Oh, there we have it. The verdict is in. What a headache.
Not the first negative feedback we've had.
So, what exactly is a prototype Aranara?
So for context, Aranara are magical creatures in Sumeru fairy tales that live in the forest. For the store's 20th anniversary, we plan to release a series of hand-carved toys based on the Aranara stories that kids know and love. This is a prototype we made to get an idea of how they would react. But when we put it out there, the reaction was not quite what we'd anticipated.
They thought it looked like a mushroom too, huh?
No, worse than that, actually. I can't quite describe it, though. And I'm also not very good with kids. Maybe you could ask them for yourselves.
This is not an Aranara. No way. I've read Uncle Tanja's Aranara and the Ill Little Fungus. It says that Aranara are supposed to be chubby and squishy. The carving looks nothing like that.
Toys do look better when they're round and chubby. Uncle Tonder said in Aranara's vow that you can deceive the eyes, but you can't deceive the heart. This
carving makes me feel lost and confused inside. I don't think the creator put his heart into it at all. It's nothing like an Aranara.
Ooh, didn't put his heart into it, huh? Oh, sounds like one of those things that's easier said than understood.
Kassid and Alia didn't like this carving, but I think it's okay. It doesn't look too happy, so it's kind of pitiful in a cute way.
Oh, a positive review!
Yeah, so I would totally ask my dad to get it for me, if it wasn't meant to be a Nara.
Oh, well, that took a sudden turn for the worse. We asked the children for their opinions.
Oh, how did it go? Has it maybe, grown on them at all? Oh, this is such a shame. Why isn't Tondra back from Gandharvaville yet?
Oh, the kids kept mentioning an Uncle Tanger, too. Who is he exactly?
Uncle Tanger is a famous children's author here in Port Ormos. He wrote quite a few stories in the past, but none of them were popular among children. Just like our prototype Aranara. But around a year or so ago, he suddenly had a eureka moment or something, and suddenly the children loved every one of his stories.
That's right. My little Ghaffari loves his stories too. The whole reason we decided to make these carvings was because we saw just how popular the Aranara are among children. We asked Tanja for guidance, but right after he agreed, he went off to Gandharvaville with his son to look for inspiration. They haven't returned yet. We were running out of time, so we had no choice but to carve an Aranara based on our own imaginations. As you can see, this was the result.
Oh, we have to do something. Hey, since you're the famous traveler, could you do us a favor and look for Tanger in Gandharvaville, he doesn't have to come in person if he's too busy. Just ask him to write down his suggestions and bring his notes back to us, if you could. Please, if only to put a smile on the children's faces. And, of course, you'll be well compensated for doing us the favor.
They seem pretty desperate. Let's help them out, to see the kids smile. And also for our reward. Yep, let's do it! This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Oh, you've arrived. Please, take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of more this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick mora?
Yeah, with Boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is the Scarlet King, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the chance later.
Huh? Who are you? What do you want? A student? What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos? Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Paimon can't stand to see so much more go. But there's no other choice right now.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Oh, that's right! We heard you mention the Scarlet King just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're, archaeology students!
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Ruka Devata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. The Scarlet King isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the Scarlet King. I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Huh?
You again? Deranged Academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you. Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the more you're worth.
Hey! Shut it, Al-Haytham! What are you playing at, trying to ruin our business like this, hmm?
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you, don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the Academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Teyvat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Emirites running too! Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions! He went that way! After him! Wait up! It's Al-Haytham, right?
What do you want? No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your Mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have something to ask you about! Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two? And why are you inquiring about that? A student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Huh? Oh, yeah! He's really strong. Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right, I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too. What else?
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
Huh? Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents. Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information. Knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
That's amazing!
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up. Oh, so that's your true objective. With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer. You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people.
Both quantity and quality.
Alright, I would take a quick break here and then probably will do one more episode. I like him. I'm not sure if he's a friend or a foe, but I like him. Maybe a new husband though. Yay. Not that I already have a dozen of them.